Hello and welcome to Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Scorpio, this is a bonus reading. And tonight we have the Strength card. In the Thoth deck, it's also called the Lust card. Okay, and let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to hit the little like button or leave a comment, I would not be mad at you. I would actually appreciate it so very greatly. And if this is your first time watching or reading, shout it out in the comments. Okay, so immediately I'm seeing we have a bat right down here, which for me is a confirmation. You might not like bats very much, but here we live near a lake, excuse me, and we have mosquitoes, so many mosquitoes. I've been researching what can we do. I'm not going to spray for them. So what can I do? What can change this mosquito haven, right? And it's not just our area, it's like the whole neighborhood, right? The first thing that the neighbor said, well, yeah, I hope you like mosquitoes. So yeah, looking for other ways to kind of help control the mosquito population. And so I found out we get to get some bat houses. Apparently, they are very helpful in controlling, you know, how many mosquitoes are hanging around. So we'll see. I'll report back. But I see the bat. I see another bat right here as well. I also see we have a crescent moon. We have another crescent moon. Where did you go? This one right here. Crescent moon right there. Okay. So I'm thinking this is really a reading that has to do with the night side. These are lunar movements. These are lunar energies. These are things that happen in the night, or at least deeply in the psyche, right? I feel that, well, quite literally, you might be going into a more nocturnal mode. You might be, working a job where your schedule has been changed and you'll be doing overnights. Ooh, overnights. And maybe that's something you like. Maybe that's something you dread. I don't know. But I do know that there's an energy of the evening, of the nights here. And to me, when I see that, I'm pretty excited, because in the night energy, in the moon energy, there's a sense of illusion, right? There's a sense of things being quite surreal. If you can think of when you were a kid, or if you're like me as an adult, still happens. When you have a chair or your closet's open, or whatever it is, and there's a stack of clothes piled up and they're kind of hanging over here and there, and in that dark night where there are lots of shadows being cast, you wake up and you look over and you think, is there somebody sitting in my room watching me sleep? And you sit up and you look, and then you get your phone and you turn on the little light, the camera, or the flashlight on the phone, and then you realize, oh, it's just a pile of clothes. Silly me. This is the energy of the night, right? A little bit scary, a little bit of terror. Our survival instincts really kick in. But really it is that things look quite different in the night, in the depth of the darkness. And I find this exciting because it is a wonderful place to have visions. It's a wonderful place for dream communications to be coming through. And it's a beautiful place for creativity, inspiration, and ultimately very linked to the idea of shadow work, okay? So, a busy time for you. Maybe not on the day side, but in the nights. Now, we're looking at, it looks like a really fancy little bird here. It almost looks like it has kind of a little hat on. Now we have a person over here. We have another bird sitting here. It looks like, I'm going to read this as being a home. Okay, being kind of a little cave or, a little doma. And so I feel like while you're in your home, probably sleeping, maybe reclining in your favorite chair and you're drifting off, and the visions are coming, the messages are coming through. Now the birds are our messengers. Is this the divine? Is this spirit talking to you? Is this a past loved one that is coming through, bringing you the news of the universe? It could be. We also have the snake here, okay, kind of coiled up. You can see it right here. And so I feel like this is some profound knowledge, okay? It is not just kind of idle imagery or things that are so obscure you don't know what the heck you're seeing or what does this have to do with anything. No, this is kind of divine revelation. This is an illumination, and it's interesting, right? It's that bright light in the dark night. It is while we are sleeping and we receive some kind of clarity. Years ago, I had, for quite a few years, I was dreaming about going to school almost every night. And when I would become aware that I was sleeping and I was in my dream, I would realize that I'm sitting in a classroom being explained things about the universe, about my life, about the world, that I maybe didn't even think about in my waking life at all. There were all kinds of things. I would try to remember and write it down as soon as I woke up, and I would go and look things up to see what is this? I don't even know what that is, and so these kinds of, real, what do they call them? Spiritual downloads? Information dumps. They happen in our dreams. They absolutely do. And so I think this is a period of time where, you are being kind of educated. You're, you are receiving information that maybe you didn't even know you needed, but here it is. Okay. Now, I do feel like this is centered around the home. This isn't something that's really happening outside of the home. Like if you're traveling or you stay over at somebody's house or, whatever it is, there's something very particular about the way that your room, your bedroom, your bed, your pillow, whatever it is, there's something, it's set up in such a way, you have a relationship to it in such a way that it's almost like a portal, right? It's kind of like crawling through that Stargate every night and waking up in this place is kind of spiritual college, if you will, and being developed as a being, right? And I feel like this is something that maybe not consciously, but intentionally chosen. This is part of your path to be somebody who makes use of this incarnate cycle. You are not going to squander it. You are learning. You are doing your karmic work through this education, through this deepening of understanding, through getting into those mysteries, right? There are plenty of people that we interact with in the world, that are just living mundane lives. They're very much centered in the material world, which is fine. We all have our different functions and we're all on different paths, and that is a very valid way of living, of course. But there are other people who are doing and are here for spiritual work, who are here for, being kind of very much in contact with that greater celestial, Akashic, Mott, energy, right? Kind of a flow of information of a cosmic consciousness. And I feel that you are definitely intentionally one of those people. And so this is a time where maybe you are awakening to this. Maybe it's become kind of very noticeable, something that is unavoidable in a lot of ways. And so we also have up here, it looks like a young goat. Okay, we have a person here who is blowing a horn. Okay, and here we have a person who it looks like is lighting a candle. So the person blowing the horn, and usually it's the horn of an animal, right? And I should know what is it called in Judaism? I don't know, but I know that they use it to begin temple, right? Or I think it's when the what is it called? The Talmud is brought out, right? The scrolls, and the horn is blown. But this is not the only system that uses animal's horn, right? To open a ritual, a ceremony. Okay, this is seen through many communities and cultures and religions and esoteric and mysteries and so on. Okay, the horn is a very important symbol, a very important magical object, religious object. And so it is the opening and the closing of things. And this tells me that there's an opening of a operation, a ritual, a distinct work that you are doing, a part of your life. You are shifting into this work. Your focus is very set on. And now we have the person standing here with the candle, lighting the candle. So again, I am reminded of and I will pronounce this wrong, but the Shekinah. And this is a manifestation of spirit. And usually it is pictured as being kind of a pyre, right? A fireplace, a eternally burning thing. And this is, something to gaze upon and to behold spirit. This is the essence of the word, of spirit, of God, of goddess, of the divine. And it is the illuminator, right? And so this is very much in line with these kind of divine messages coming through to you. The fire is lit in your, monk's chamber, or cella as it's called. This is a place within the temple, ancient temples. It is a room, usually at the center of the building, where the icon of the temple, whoever the temple or whatever the temple is dedicated to, would be stored in a special cabinet or a special, room or whatever it was. And only the high priest or high priestess, the highest initiates, were able to enter this room. That's why it's called the monk's chamber. It is a place that, not to be seen by the profane or the greater congregation of the temple. This is, a most holy of holies. Now, often there would be the icon, but there would also be the fire, right? There would be a fire that was kept going 24 hours a day. And there would be priests or priestess devotees that... they would keep the things going. They weren't allowed to see the icon, though. They weren't even necessarily allowed to go in the room within the room. Now, you can, if you're kind of a nerd like me, I'm very interested in the setup of temples. I don't know why. I've always been drawn to it. So there were different ways that they had this. They would have like partitions and you can even see... and I know I'm nerding out here, but you can even see kind of these old kind of ways of constructing a temple in Catholic churches, okay, where the priests and the clergy go back into the areas where there are those partitions, right? And there's the high altar is in the back there. And nobody can enter, the congregation, you don't dare go back there. You don't enter that. That's where the priests work. And so it's something similar to this, where they're sectioned off. Now, this is to say, this fire going in, if you could think of your, being as a temple, this fire being kept burning brightly. So then, spirit being very active in your life, intentionally so, being taken care of, provided a space within your life where you are, fostering it, taking care to commune with it, to be very present with it. And so it feels like a time where you are really, really focused on this spiritual lifestyle that I feel not only have you chosen as you have grown as a being within your life, but probably, and I'm not even going to say probably, I know that you chose as kind of a soul contract. When you are going to be manifest into this being, deciding this is a life cycle that I will dedicate to my spiritual workings. And it might take, 40 years of my life to wake up to this, and that's okay, right? There's no time where you're too old to become spiritual or to start, living as a very religious or spiritual being. And maybe it's something that you began with and don't even remember where it started, right? So I feel like this really is such an indicator to me that this is the focus, okay? This is the focus of your life. Now, we have that goat, okay? So there is a power in you. There is a sense of not being deterred by the difficulties of life. So often I think, especially when we go through tragedies, things that seem inconceivable, things that we can't understand why they would happen. How could there be a god or goddess if all this terrible stuff is going on? You've been through some trauma, this kind of thing. I think a lot of people turn away from their faith. A lot of people walk away from the idea that there's anything greater because it's so painful. Well, for you, I think that there is ultimately this fiery drive within self. There's nothing that will break that bond you have with the divine. You know, and even if you waver at times or you feel lost, there is the dark night of the soul. You know, you're existing in this very lunar landscape where things seem quite surreal and you can't tell what is what. That doesn't stop you from this journey that you're on. And that is what the goat is all about finding a way, even where there seems to be none. Okay? Now, I look over here and I'm excited to get to this because we have this large heart. Okay, so I know there's just an immense love here. Now, we also have two people embracing one another or about to embrace one another. We also have, it looks like the heart here again. Okay, we also have what looks like the frog. Now the frog, when it comes up, I know is the protector of the home. This is, if you could think about a little frog, a toad. I know, I mixed them up. Try to be more accurate, but you know, what can you do? You have a little toad sitting in your garden, sitting by your back porch, sitting, you know, in the flower bed in front of your house, wherever. And it looks over your home, watching the comings and goings. It watches your windows, your doors. It is a backyard spirit, as I like to call them, that is a protector. It is a being that is always kind of lingering. You don't necessarily notice them. They're camouflaged, but they're there and they're watching. And so when I see this in the readings, when we have the toad or the frog, it tells me, and this is not to, you know, worry you or make you think that anything is wrong, because it's not, but it is a reminder to kind of do our due diligence of checking the security of our home, right? Making sure that your doors are, you know, functioning properly, that they're locking. Check your windows to make sure that the locks are working, that nothing is broken or hasn't been left open, not only on the house, but the garage and so on. Just a good reason to go around and check the perimeter of the home, to go inside and check the windowsills and everything else. Like I said, it's not to make you feel like I'm seeing that anything is wrong, but this is always that reminder, and I will do the same. When I see this, I think, okay, I gotta go check everything to see that it's where it's supposed to be, right? And I might be a little bit of a neurotic person anyways, so I do this quite often. I am the one in the house that's always making sure things are locked and nothing has been moved or when we've been gone, or you know what I mean. So I see this and I think, yep, there we go. We'll do a deeper look around today. So anyways, we have a person who the embrace about to happen, this anticipation, and we have a C. So I wonder if this is a C name. We also have a 9, okay? And there is a belovedness here. So I feel like this might be, the deepening of a relationship. Maybe it's a reunion of sorts. But I do feel like there's a kindredness, there's a belovedness. We have up here the Ace of Cups, the Grail. So this is a place of immense emotions, right? This is the vessel that contains the waters that are the emotional, the spiritual, the life-giving force. But don't be fooled. Water is powerful and destructive as well. But we do have the cups, so that means it is contained in a way that is manageable. And so I feel like this is a love that you can indulge in. This is a love that you can swim in. This is a love that will last a lifetime. And I feel you very close to this person in these next weeks and months here. And beautiful. It feels very beautiful. Now, we also have ATV. Maybe that is a vehicle. Maybe that is some other, what is the word? Not anagram. Acronym. Is that the word? Acronym? I don't know. ATV. Yes. But it could be initials as well, or a word that is being developed here. You rearrange them. Yeah. The love. The love is profound. The spirit and love and strength and courage, and it just feels vibrant here. You feel vibrant. Okay, Scorpio, we're going to do our divine doors, and I'm just going to stop where it feels right. Oh, the blue door. What a beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, it says, the art of life. There's no sacred light in the aura of an invisible life. Be bold in your skin. Let your love dance in sight. Let your love dance in sight. And for me, with this reading, what it tells me is you don't hide your spiritual work. You don't, keep it secret or compartmentalized. You are what you are, and you live how you live, and you spread that all around. It's a beautiful light in this often dark world. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpio. Although, listen, I feel like as I've been doing readings for these last couple of years, and I read every single day, and multiple readings a day, I've developed some kind of real patterns I've noticed and deeper understandings about the signs. And I really feel like Virgos and Scorpios. Now, I'm a solar Virgo, so obviously I have a little bit of a bias here about Virgo stuff, but I absolutely feel like Virgos and Scorpios are almost like kindred. I mean, they are so similar. A little bit of differences in how we communicate and maybe present ourselves, or our emotions is a big thing. I think Virgos are a little more restrained about how they express the bigger emotions, but we have the same ones, right? We have the same big emotions as Scorpios. And I think there's such a relatable quality. I think Scorpios and Virgos are bound to be the best of friends. Now, is it an easy relationship? Maybe not. But is it real? Is it honest? Is it authentic? Yes, absolutely. I also think that the dark humor of a Scorpio really goes along well with the cynicism of a Virgo. So it's perfect. But anyways, Scorpio, I'm going to tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. And of course, if this is your first time, thank you for making it to the end of the reading. But also, shout it out. Let me know that this is your first time at the channel. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful night, day, morning, wherever you are, whatever time it is. We'll talk in a couple days. Good night.